Let's go. There we go. At least something's moving. Finally. La 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 la. Longer lasting. Okay. Yes. Very good, BR. That was a really good breakout of the golden pocket. Really, really good. So those golden pockets are good too for, not just for like retesting, but also breaking and like retesting, right? Those are really, really good. Let me get some music going here. Please don't stop the music. Good morning. Good morning. So 2750, 28. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Top of the morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. It was a bit of a suspicious morning, wasn't it? A bit of a suspicious morning. Like I said earlier, like the two names that stand out to me for now are BRTX and TLIH. That really hasn't changed. Really hasn't changed yet. So super slow though, right? Like nothing crazy. This one's up 39%, which isn't what we're used to. And this one's just going sideways for now because it can't seem to break out. I bet you once the market opens, though, we're going to get a bit more volatility, which is a good thing. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. 24, 25, 50, and 26, 27-ish. Great. Good job. Good jobs. I like it. Yeah, no, this still looks good. We're testing that 28 supply zone. See if we can break through that and push for 30 cents. Jay, sure I can. What's your position though? Let me know. Alrighty. Yeah, no, BRTX had good news. The market just wasn't reacting to it for some reason until it actually broke out. This is why though we tell you guys the news is so important. Like not the like the reaction to the news is so important, right? Because the news came out all the way on the left hand side, obviously, right? Like it came out all the way on the left hand side. Like that's the news, right? But if this thing doesn't break out of that resistance right there, none of this happens. Interesting, huh? Right? So that's why we put so much, um, so much into the like into like the reaction to the news rather than just the news itself. You're in at 31 cents. Okay, I'll take a look. Yeah, and if you have a question, just clarify the question and I'll take a look. SILO 31 cents. So you're slightly green in that position then. Please don't tell me you bought the stock like yesterday. Did you buy this yesterday, Jay? Did you buy this yesterday? You bought this thing yesterday, didn't you? Because it hasn't been to 31 cents this morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Prime is looking good, isn't it? Yeah, Jay, for now, I would, if I was in your position, honestly, I'd be looking for stop loss right below 30 cents. If you wanted to go a little bit further out, the low of the day, like the closing price yesterday was 28. I'd maybe put a stop loss below that. But at this point, you're slightly green. I think you bought the stock yesterday. It went all the way with 10,000 shares all the way to 45-ish below. and then you let it crash all the way back down to your entry price. So I think that's a bit, frustrating for you. So I think for now, just try and hopefully it can stay above 30 cents and push back up for you. Hopefully, righty, alrighty. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Let me take a look at a rhyme. Good morning. Okay, so a nice little breakout of the supply zone of the golden pockets. Are you guys noticing how important those golden pockets are, and not just on the way down, but on the way up as well, right? It reminds you of a potential like key breakout. So there was another little breakout above $2 there, and then pop for rhyme. So that's good. Yeah. You can kind of tell though that your next resistance is at the level that it's sitting at right now. See if that candle can close above. But a nice pop though. We'll keep an eye on that into the open. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. So yeah, rhyme looks good. BRTX is stalling and retesting. I'm really hoping though that once the market opens, we can pick up a bit. Can we take a look at Lamar, LRMR? For some reason, I've been calling that stock Lamar this morning, even though that's not what it is. Um, so with this one, I'm not quite sure what your position is, Miss Diva. Welcome to the community, by the way. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think you joined yesterday, so welcome. So this is one of those names I'm watching closely into the open to see if the volume comes in, just because it's not a penny stock and it's one of the top gainers, right? So maybe this one can push. In terms of like support for now, though, you want to see what happens closer to $3.50. So if you're looking for a brand new position, let's see if that thing can dip closer to that level and hold, or simply just break above the VWAP. Alrighty, so get back above 375, 380 ish. And see if it stays above that level. So we're gonna need to dip back to this bottoms here, or we're gonna need to break out. Because for now, if you zoom in, right, you're just gonna notice we're going sideways here into the open. Right, that's a bit confusing. So we're not quite sure. So again, it needs to break out, right, or it needs to dip back down. Again, if you have a position, if you're in the stock already, please clarify, and I'll take a closer look. TLIH is trying to hold that bottom, like really, really trying to hold that bottom. So hopefully it can. Alrighty, hopefully it can. People are taking some profits going into the open here. Ayo, hello, hello. Yeah, Ram is slowly pushing there though. Not bad. Slowly. You're welcome. Not bad, Mr. Rhyme. Let's see. Thoughts on this bottom play? On VIR. Hmm. Yeah, I think the dangers of like this one right now is we're it's looking super weak and we're getting really close to the open, right? So honestly, at this point, you're better off waiting for the market to open. Yeah, and it looks like it's breaking down below that support, isn't it? So super weak and downtrendy. Looks like a TLIH is still holding that bottom there though, which is nice, right? This one's been teasing all morning, just going back and forth. Question for you guys in the chat though. What's your favorite stock going into the open? You're in at 380? Yeah, 380. Okay, so yeah, it popped and then failed exactly at the view app. So the level we just talked about, right? Like we need to break out of this range here. Alrighty. Your entries is in a bit of a weird level. So hopefully it can break above that level after the market opens. Just make sure you have a stop loss though once we open. Have a plan, please, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty. So favorite stocks into the open. So BRTX, TLIH, wrinkle, no bang at the tops, please. Yeah, I think a lot of you guys are gonna like this one. It does need to really break out though. So this one, Rhyme, BRTX, those are gonna be standouts. And then Lamar, LRMR, we still need to see what happens with this one after the market actually opens. Same thing with VIR, right? They all look a bit more suspicious. So we need some breakouts. We need some chaos. Again, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thoughts on Spy with the speech tonight? Honestly, I don't think it really like we're gonna get confused. Like confusing price action. I think what's gonna be more important, or will be the Nvidia earnings tomorrow. I think we kind of have an idea of what Trump is gonna say. He's gonna yap about rubbish. um, I don't think he's gonna say anything that you never know with him though. But I don't think he's gonna say anything that is, he's gonna brag about what he's done. I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, which is what that stuff is for, anyways. And what he wants to do, and blame the Supreme Court for ruining tariffs and blah 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 blah, right? So yeah, Nvidia on the other hand though is going to be pivotal for the markets, huge. So we're kind of selling off into the open here, huh? I wonder if we just keep selling off today until we get to Nvidia tomorrow. I wonder. Okay, how much time do we have? Less than 2 minutes, Cam. Lazy says you're the rubbish. I know. I'm not denying it. Definitely yap about rubbish all day. Yeah. Wave minus will face forced liquidation and bankruptcies will spill into brother markets. Probably, probably, probably. We shall see. Open the markets. We're ready. Open the markets. It's with a little pop. Definitely like TLIH going into the open. We just need that breakout. This was a good bottom though. It's a 46 cents ish, close to that level, 46, 47 ish. Good spot, but we do need to break out above that 53 and just stay above it if we want to get pushing here. Lazy, no, that's okay. That's okay. I accept that. I accept that. At a triple bottom. Yep. Okay. Open the markets. Here we go. TLIH is looking good into the open, isn't it? So that's a nice little pop there. Just not sure how reliable that's going to be once we actually open. We shall see though. Just trying to. So we do need that breakout. Oh, Canada. There we go. So you can kind of see that candle basically just popped to 53 to 54 and then backed off, right? So this resistance up here is a problem for this stock. So until we break out of that range and actually close above it, we just seem to be going back and forth for now. Alrighty, so you want to be patient with that stuff. Looks like LRMR is testing that bottom at 350 and kind of holding for now. We'll see. We're kind of sitting at the VWAP here, so we do need that curl on this one. And then Rhyme is backing off. A lot of little redness in the market. A lot of little redness in the market. Let's see. And SPY opened and said, not today. I wonder if they're gonna break below that 30 today. Let's see. Okay, so that's dropping. We don't really care about that for now, though. We need some of these other names to behave. LRMR is holding that 350. So Diva, you're back to almost break even now. Back to almost break even. Let's see. There it goes. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. So that one's kind of going back and forth as well, just like everything else is, though, for the most part. For the most part. Okay. SoFi. So BRTX is still holding that view up there. Yeah, no, I think for the most part we're just giving some of these names a few minutes here to actually behave. Behave. Ezra doesn't look bad, does it, Raven? Not bad. Yeah, no. So that 380 there, that VWAP is acting as major resistance here for LRMR. Let's see. Yep. Let me take a look at Ezra. This one was really good the other day too. That's really good consolidation coming into the open off the VWAP as well. Off the VWAPs. Yep. Yeah, but a lot of names are getting slapped though. Nothing really stands out yet as like the play, you know? Yeah. Lamar is looking good though. So retesting the VWAP here. See if we can actually break out this time maybe. See if we can get a breakout this time. Looks like it wants to. That was a good double bottom though, right? So close to that 350 was good. Very, very good. Let's go. Good morning, Caitlin. Good morning, Haley. There goes 390 on this one. $3.90. At the bottoms. There we go. There we go. It's a nice little pop. Diva, you still in your position? If you are, try and stay green now. $4 is going to be your next main obstacle here on this thing. So if it can break 4, we might have a bit more juice, most likely. But again, just make sure you're either taking some gains or moving your stop loss higher, just because this level is a bit scary. Alrighty, that this was the same level we hit twice in pre-market and then slapped. So that level is going to be very interesting. Alrighty, so this $4. Yeah. Here it goes. You're gonna break out. Break, 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 break. No, I've never used the like I don't have the deck the app version. I don't know. I've just never used it. Uh, yeah. Why do you like that one better? Are you gonna break $4 here or no? Can you see NVIDIA for bull bear? Of course. What do you mean? Can I see though? Like, what's your question there? Of course I can. Hmm. Yeah, this $4 is obviously going to act as a bit of an obstacle, isn't it? Okay. 39. One second, guys. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, we're kind of stuck at this $4 level here for this thing, so it just needs a bit more volume to actually break out. Rhyme is curling though, which is good. Curling them. This one never could break out, which is really important, right? TLIH. It just couldn't break above that 53. If it doesn't break, then obviously you're gonna sell off. So now it's testing the 200 EMA. The golden pocket and this one is closer to 40 cents. Ready? So here goes Lamar. I'm gonna keep calling this Lamar probably. That $4 level is gonna be really important though. It's gonna be there's gonna be some interesting selling in that range. Some interesting selling in that range, most likely. Looks like whoa! Look at that. IOVR is popping, but that's not the look at that pop. So they're clearly supporting the markets of that 480, 680. Right? They're really trying to make sure we don't break below 680. Yeah, that's a nice pop. See if it stays. See if it can stay above it. Yeah, looks like Rhyme is really curling here, so we do need breakouts on that thing though. I don't know why Lamar is having such a hard time at $4, but it really is. Most likely because of that almost 50 million share float. Ezra is just retesting here the view app, 32 cents ish, Raven. Retesting. What do you think about the current market in stocks like Apple, Microsoft? Is it time to sell or hold? Um, for a name like Microsoft and Amazon, right? Those two especially, I think those two have been sold off so much, right? I like the level that Amazon. We've been talking about Amazon and like that 200 ish area being a good spot, right? I think names like Microsoft and Amazon, they're getting punished because they're investing in something that doesn't quite have that output yet, right? It's like, hey, I'm investing in this new AI venture, right? We don't know how much money we're going to make from it. The market's like, excuse me, like, what do you think you're doing here? So they're getting punished for that. Apple has been doing well because they're not doing that. So, I mean, it just depends on your level of belief in those companies, right, Mike? And your initial plan with them. Like, are they long term investments? Then you should be okay, right? So, should be okay. The markets might dip, but those names will eventually come back. Right? So it just depends. There's so much to go into that question, right? Are you holding all of them? How long have you been holding? Are you green? Are you planning on scaling in if we sell off? Right? Like there's so many questions there for you. Look at that pop on the markets. IOVR is also following SPY for some reason. Maybe it's because they're on the same screen, but that's a nice follow through with this one. But yeah, look at SPY. Sheesh, damn, my goodness, keep pumping. Yep, is already set up for yeah. Like I like Amazon. I like Amazons. Okay. IOVR. IOVR. That was a really good breakout. It's a really good breakout. 350 and then boom skis. Again, nothing crazy. It's 29%, right? Like that's not that big of a deal. Ezra is still holding that 32, 33-ish area, the retest, which is good. Lamar is just stuck at $4 here. So if that thing can break out, maybe it can slowly keep moving up, right? Rhyme is just going back and forth for now. CDIO doesn't look bad, does it? Yeah. Did it take off? I'll take a look. I will take a look ski. Yeah, this one's super slow. We'll come back to this though. Yeah, they slapped that thing all the way to $9 though, and then now it's basically just retesting the that $10 area. That thing's gonna need to give us some consolidation about $10. Microsoft is flying. Yup. Yeah, those names have been beat down so much, right, Mike? I think that's the danger with your question. They've been beat down already. The market hasn't crashed, but Microsoft has been beat down. Amazon has been beat down. So, you sell and then they explode like they are right now. And then you're like, what the hell? What the hell? Okay, there we go. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. 370. Yeah, no, CDIO does not look bad at all. That's a really nice curl on Ezra. A nice little curl. Raven, you're still in this one, right? Yeah, isn't it crazy, Harman, how they dropped an offering this morning? Yeah. No, no, no. I know. I am just asking if he's still in. Yeah, scalps. Okay. Yes, yes. I wanted to buy some dips this morning. I bought those dips at the perfect time. Sheesh. Perfect timing on those dips. Goodness. Goodness. And then explosions. Love it. 32.50. Okay. Yeah, that's a really good entry. Question now though is, can we break above 37.38? That is the question. Let me take a look. Hmm. Okay. 36.50. Is anybody holding this one? IOVA? Anybody? This one's been slowly creeping up. You can tell that it has a bigger float because of the way that it's moving, right? The float is 340 million. That's a massive float, right? So, like, these candles look nice, but really it's 33%. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but at least it's creeping up. At least it is creeping up. Has this one done anything? No. TLIH is just playing with that 200 EMA, so maybe it's going to get a curl here, but really nothing's happened. Lamar is still fighting to break above that $4 resistance, so maybe if they can break above, the volume will kick in. Like, we have a whole bunch of names that do look good, just nothing that's exploding, you know? Haley's practicing her side words while I trade, and is so proud to let's go, Haley. Amazing. Good job. Yeah, probably Tim. Probably. It's like like a lot of most of the issues that we have when it comes to trading is the psychological issues, the things that we pick up. So the repetitiveness of like the stream most likely like really helps in terms of like what not to do, right? And yeah. Raven, is your wife home? That should always be the question we ask in the morning. Is Raven's wife home? If she's not, then we know. Yep. Yeah, no, this thing really wants to break out of the that little double top. Will it though? Will it? NCI is halted down. That thing is halting way too much. Uh, there we go. So here comes the retest of those highs for Ezra. Retest of the highs. See if we can break through. Did you sell, Miss Diva? Yeah, you basically sold at $4 then? You did good though, right? You're green on that position, and also it's really struggling at $4. Yeah, that's pretty good. Good job. I wish your entry was I think this again. You're new to the community, so you'll pick up on this stuff as time goes on. But I wish your entry was closer to the green zone. Green is good, right? Green is good. Red is no good, and you can see that playing out, right? Supply zone versus demand zones. So good job though, 17%, and you're selling at resistance. When you see red, you get concerned. So you sold, and now if you didn't sell that position, you'd be back to break even. So good job on that. Okay, and then there goes Ezra. Ezra. Okay. So there goes. Basically, that's a double top on Ezra there because it failed to close above. Yep. Double tops. That's a nice little pop, and it's halted up. See, things like these are nice when you're in a position though, but like there's really they're kind of annoying at the same time. Like there's 22,000 shares here, so something, someone got excited, right? After they saw that first green candle, and they're like, oh, 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 here we go, and then halt. Stuff like this is just is annoying, is what that is. It's halted up though. So Joshua, no, I'm good. How are you? I am not gay. Uh, so yeah, no, that's a nice little pop there though, KB, right? You're gonna have a lot of resistance. It's gonna be stuck around this $10 area until you get some really good volume. Just because of the fact that you have the VWAP and the 200 EMA right below, right above like that $10 area. So you're gonna be playing a lot of games there. A lot of games. Yeah, that's funny. Mm. I think the good thing about LRMR is that it keeps coming back up to that $4 level. If this thing had a smaller float, I think everybody would be all over this one, right? Because it's a non-penny stock that's trying to break out. Like everybody would be all over this one. The fact that it has a 40 to 50 million share float, though, I think it makes it a little bit concerning. Also, it's at a triple, whatever you want to call this, right? Um, yeah, a quad top doesn't really matter. It's resistant, so it doesn't matter whether it's a double, triple, six. It really doesn't matter. It makes no difference. It needs to break through $4 if it wants to cook. If not, they're gonna slap it back to the VWAP. Ready? So Ezra kind of the same thing, right? Like it doesn't matter whether it's the second time or the third or the seventh. As long as it's resistance, it's resistant. So it needs to break through that. Okay. FGL is back. Okay. Yeah. So KB, are you in this stock though? VIR? Are you in it? It's back, but still halted. Nick. Yeah. Nice little pop. Uh. You may sell. Okay. Yeah. I'll just keep chasing it up with those stop losses. And you should be okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we'll see what happens when FGL gets on halted. That thing has such a low float that we want to pay attention to it, right? But we'll see. Again, Rhyme doesn't look bad. It's just ranging for now. So good support around $2.14 to 2.10, right? And then a lot of resistance the closer we get to 2.50. So, but now it just seems to be going back and forth, back and forth. TLIH, like I said, this really hasn't given us anything, right? It looked interesting coming into the open. Now we're about to test the golden pocket, close to 40 cents. So maybe that'll be a good level to consolidate at. Other than that, though, it really hasn't done it. Lamar is like, hey, I do want it. That thing is like sitting right there. Like I said, right? If this thing had a small float, everybody would have been all over the stock. But the fact that it has that big float like that makes it a bit concerning. Okay. Someone's like, nope. FGL is unhalted, yeah. So it popped all the way to almost like $16 and then dropped off. Craziness, huh? Like look at that. From 16 to $13, guys. And this is why like stuff like this is just so annoying, you know? Not if you bought in close to $10 though, then you're not annoyed, but yeah. See what it does for a minute here. See what it does. I mean, it looks like it's trying to stay above $14, $13. Yeah, the bottom of the last candle, but it still looks very suspicious, though, doesn't it? Right? Like the spread is a bit ridiculous. But, anyways, CDIO is also sitting at the double top here, so a lot of these names are just kind of chilling at resistance. They look good, but just sitting at resistance. Yeah. I mean, it broke above $4 briefly. There just wasn't enough volume to actually stay above it. Our grad is halted up. Yeah. Yep. Can we get a proper breakout though? Not the interesting. Yeah, when you play with names like FGL, I think for the most part you just have to understand that you're taking a bit of a gamble, and it can work out really nicely, especially after the pop like this, because those candles are going to be crazy. Revenue from la, na, 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 la, na, 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 na. But I'm looking to get a small position at the price you're talking about it the other day, and I did some research, wanted to share. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, I think that spot isn't the worst spot, right? From a daily basis. Yeah, so they goes right below $12 now. So from $16 to below $13, guys, and it looks like it's halted down, right? So this actually it's not halted down. That's a glitch on my end. But again, like super sus. You might get a bounce though in this $12 range, right, between the 9 EMA and the golden pocket there, but who knows? And so yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. See if we can get some extra consolidation. LRMR just can't seem to break out above $4. This one can't seem to break out above its resistance as well. So double top. Rhyme just can't seem to break out either. So and Grand is unhalted. I'll take a look at that. So we're sitting at a golden pocket here for TLIH though. So this is going to be a really interesting level. 83 put. Yeah, that was such a scam rally, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't really think they're gonna pick a direction before Nvidia, but yeah, that golden pocket is right there. So let's see if it bounces. Did you close out the put, Sid? Or you're just waiting for it to break below? You're waiting for it to break below, huh? You're like, come on, crash it. Not yet? Okay. Crash it, crash it. Yeah, that was an aggressive bounce off that 680 though. If it gets back to 680, you kind of have a feeling they're gonna let it drop below it, and then it's gonna be blood today. So that 680 though, defending that level, they better keep defending it. Yeah. Yeah. So there goes the FGL all the way back down to $12 there, all the way down. So pretty suspicious. My goodness, look at all these stocks drop, guys, from resistance. Let me go take a look at Grand though, because Grand does look good. Like these names are honestly annoying. It looks good, but then look at the volume. The volume is super light, isn't it? Super, super light. Good job though, Jay. Good job. Letting the price come to you late. I think that should be the plan today. Yeah, it looks like they're defending that golden pocket, Sid. Trying to. And it also looks like FGL is bouncing off the golden pocket as well, which is very interesting. Not sure how much trust we can put in this one when it comes to the to technicals, but trying to. Uh, okay. It looks like so this one's holding that golden pocket, so is TLIH. Right? TLIH is also holding on the golden pocket. Yeah. It's yeah, no, Grant doesn't look bad. I think it's just lacking the volume, JB, right? And it looks like it's stalling, right? You can see the volume increase, but the price action doesn't change, right? So it's stalling in that range. Um, so that's interesting. 1250. Okay. I think the volume is rotating so quickly into some of these other names. And you look at something like this, you're like, oh, that looks really nice. No, it's like a 9% pop. It's a really good curl though. That's a really good looking curl. Nothing crazy though, right? FGL is doing a good job though of holding that golden pocket, which is nice. So that $12 and then to $13. Again, nothing crazy, but it's a dollar scalp off that support. Kind of the same thing with this one. Super slow though. Ezra is still in that same range, guys, so it looks good. It just needs to break out. Right? It's holding the VWAP and the 50 EMA really well, but it does need to break out. It does need to break out. To $1.30-ish, Jack. Did you buy that today or yesterday? Like after the offering or before the offering? Okay. Yeah, it says looking good though, isn't it? Right. Again, like it's really nothing crazy. The last time we looked at this, it was $1.19 and then $1.23. So we need some actual rallies here from the markets, some actual boom skis. Okay, you're in at 32.50. Okay, 32.50 is not bad. Try and stay green on that position though, just in case we don't break out. Just in case. Did anybody buy the dip for FGL? Anybody take the YOLO on FGL off the that bottom there? Yeah, that's a really nice pop, isn't it? Really, really, really nice pop there. ANP is halted up, and FGL is like, hey, I want to halt up too. That's a really nice pop. You almost just have to take those gains though. Yeah. Yep, that was a nice bounce off $12 then. CDIO is unhalted for anybody that's in there. ETSA is dropping. Right? Make sure you're paying yourself this morning, guys, because everything just seems a bit suspicious. Right? It looks good, and then the money rotates into a different name, and then it's like, nope, not going anywhere. Harmon, can we look at IOVR? Sure. What's your position, Harmon? Let me know. Again, if you have a question, guys, just clarify the question. So I'm not just looking at I'm not just looking at stuff and talking to myself. If you have a question, please clarify. What are you looking for? Are you in it already? What price? Are you looking for an entry? Okay, cool. Right. So, help me out, please. Please and thank you. That's a really nice push on a FGL. Really, really, really nice push. Okay, I see. Yeah, it's a really nice pop. There it goes. We're almost back to retesting that $15 area now. That is a beautiful retest. Type yes in the chat if you're holding FGL. I know Dara is in this one. Dara, good job. Yeah, that was an excellent golden pocket. My goodness. That level was a gem right there. Sheesh. Especially with that little consolidation and a curl. That was really nice. $15 is going to be a problem, right? As much as we've been to 16, 15 really is the problem. So you can see why we put that line in that area. So again, 15 is going to be your double top here. So it needs to break above that level and then go from there. Larry, nice. Good job. 1270, 1433. Good job, guys. 1415, Larry. Good job. Yeah, not bad. So again, yeah, you're approaching a double top here, so just be careful. The downside to this is, like you can't really trust it a whole lot because it's so volatile. So you're almost having to treat it as a scalp or just, say, hey, I'm willing to risk my gains and stay in there longer. So let's see if we can get a breakout here because we're sitting at a double top. Empress, monies. Good job. How's hubby doing? Is he making monies? So again, really nice curl on that. ETSA is trying to curl, but it's still kind of stuck below the $1.25 resistance, so it needs to break above that. Ezra is doing the same thing too, but Ezra looks good though, doesn't it? Right? If Ezra just had a bit more volume, that thing would be flying. Anyways, back to FGL here. Can we get the breakout or and then the halt? Okay. Here we go. Here we oh my days. That thing said yes I can. Yes I can. He is? Okay, good. Good, good, good. So we're testing that $15 area for FGL. Previous high was 16-ish. So let's see if we can clear that level. Very nice. That $12 was so perfect though. My goodness, so perfect. So the high was 16. So let's see if we can break above 16 next on FGL. Alex, I know, right? Ezra is a cool name though, isn't it? Yeah, there goes Ezra, right? Ezra with the breakout. So these two names look really good. Ezra and FGL. There we go. There we go. Boom skis. And it's halted at 1555. Looking good. There we go. Again, type yes in the chat if you're still holding FGL. What would you do if a stock goes to suspended? There's nothing you can do if you're in the position. What I would recommend you do is watch the bid and the ask really closely for the on hold price. And if it's higher than 1555, then I'd set a stop loss below 15. All right, or right below 1555 if you need to. And hopefully it can gap up and then halt up again. That's usually the kind of the hope, right? But you have to pay attention to the bid though, right? See where it looks like it's going to open at. Right? If it's opening below 1555, then there's really nothing you can do there. You can maybe get ready to just sell it. Good job, run team. Good job. Good job, everybody. Good jobs. Good job. So again, Ezra is wanting to push. For some reason, the volume just isn't coming through. ANPA is unhalted, and it looks like it's pushing a little bit too. Okay, there we go. 38.25. Good job. Well done, Raven. Well done. So yeah, those two stocks are looking really good for now. Rhyme is retesting the bottom of the range again, and it looks like it's holding. Alrighty. So I think we mentioned below that 220, right, closer to 210. Rhyme doesn't look horrible, does it? It does not. Question is, does it have the volume? I know some of you guys are in this one as well. Come on, Ezra, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. That is some crazy volatility in the markets today. Wow. Crazy, crazy. There it goes. There it goes. So testing that 40 cents. Rob's happy. Rob's very happy. Tetris? Maybe it's just the music, Sid. It's just the music. Uh, yeah, no, that was an okay bounce and rhyme there. It needs that follow through though. Gran is selling off, right? Again, Gran just it's one of those names like anyways, you guys know what I mean. So the only thing that hasn't bounced off the golden pocket is this one. It bounced a little bit, there was a little bit of pressure that came in and it just had no follow through, especially when it's below the 200 like that. It can be really frustrating. So here comes 40 cents for this for Ezra, and then FGL is still halted here. Right. So like we talk about golden pockets, we talk about all of these things, demand zones, blah blah blah, right? Um, some of them are more important than others, right? Like if you're looking at a golden pocket that's above the 200 EMA and the VWAP, it's a lot better than a golden pocket that's below the 200 EMA and the VWAP. Right? There's always ways to make them better. They're not all the same, right? FGL being above the 200 EMA is really important, right? TLIH being below the 200 EMA is not a good thing, right? So yeah, they're always gonna be they're not always all gonna be the same. Is it a good entry, Sir Joshua? I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Good job. Good job, Raven. I like that. Uh, hugs for Ezra. So this is looking good and this is looking good. 40 cents is going to be your next resistance, which is obvious, right? So 40 cents for Ezra is your next little issue there. We need to get back above. So make sure you are scaling out on the way up. Alrighty? Make sure you are scaling out on the way up. Again, a rhyme with a really nice double bottom curl, which is very, very nice. Yeah, you can tell though that like pre-market was annoying, but post-market at the very least we're getting some action, which is good, which is very, very good. So hopefully the day continues like this, you know. New here, looking for entry points. Aisha, okay, keep watching then. See if you can get some brand new entry points. Again, your entry point for FGL was the bottom here, right? That $12 golden pocket retest. So you kind of missed that already, right? For Ezra, well, we need to break above 40 cents and consolidate, or simply just dip closer to 37.50 and consolidate. If that level doesn't hold, then you're looking for closer to 34. But yeah. And then Rhyme, obviously, again, you can see these bottoms, right? Rhyme, your entry was at the bottom there, right? If you wanted to take a gamble, right? Bottom one, bottom two, bottom three. Those were your bottoms. Those would have been your entry points, right? So if you missed all of those, then now you wait, right? Ezra is really trying to break above this 40 cents. Let's go, Raven. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, love it. This is why though, when it's low in pre-market, maybe it's telling that the market later in the day will be a little bit better because people still want to make money. Yeah, it's trying to stay above 40 cents. Like it's trying to reclaim that level. So if it can get back above, which it is, and just consolidate a little bit longer, Nancy, maybe there's something there, right? ETSA would have been nicer, closer to $1. So this 40 cents is going to act as resistance though. So just be careful with Ezra, and then we're still waiting for the on halt here for FGL. FGL. Give us more chaos. Hmm. Yeah, again, I think we all knew that 40 cents was going to be a problem, right? So that's why people were scaling out of that position, right? Raven was selling some, Rob was selling some. Yeah. Was that a mini cup and handle and Ezra in the 1 minute? Uh, hmm. Like in this area? Is that what you're looking at in this area here? I think the reason why, like, you can look at this. Yeah, I think usually though, right? Usually, um, you don't want it to dip as much as it did, because then it just looks like you're basically testing like a double bottom, like a retest of the same bottom, rather than a cup and handle, right? Yeah, maybe in this area though, but then again, like we're really close to 40 cents that it needs to break above 40 cents. Etsa with a really nice pop. Look at that. So a really nice pop on Etsa there. Really, really nice pop. There goes the on hold, guys, for FGL. So unhalted, and it popped to $16.31. So here we go, 1660. So 1660. And then Etsa with a really nice push. That's a really nice curl. Really, really nice curl. Your double top is going to be this last level right there. So $1.28. Alrighty. Yeah, exactly, Raven. Is that thing halted down? It is halted down, isn't it? Right? The golden candle showed up. They said, mm-mm. Love it. Yeah, 1467. So if you took your profits, you're happy. Alrighty. Yeah. It's like yeah, it's definitely a deformed cup and handle. Deformed. Sometimes they're nice and clean. Other times you have to kind of read between the lines. Ed says double topping at $1.28. And Ezra is still fighting for its life here. Come on, Ezra, you can do it, right? For TLIH, it just hasn't done enough yet. It hasn't done enough to tell us that it's ready for a curl, especially when it's below the 200 EMA. Then it needs to give you more data. You need a lot more information. Belen, good job. Good job. Good job. Yeah, no, like when stocks get halted after a big run, especially when you're approaching a double top, like that's usually a good time to say, hey, like, you know what? Mm-hmm. Let me think about taking some profits, right? Let me think about taking some profits. Uh, yeah, you can tell Etsa really wants to. Etsa, Ezra. What's with these names? What's with these names? Ezra and Etsa. So 3750 is the last breakout area. So we're gonna watch that first. If it doesn't hold, then we can go from there. Right? TLIH, I think you can tell, like it's in that green zone now. It's really trying, but that golden pocket is acting as resistance. So if it can reclaim that golden pocket, then maybe, maybe. And then for FGL, I mean, we've said this multiple times already, right? When a stock is like this, you just know it's gonna be crazy. Right? That this thing has such a small float, it's gonna be all over the place. So you just don't want to get greedy. If you bought this thing at 12 and you're selling at 16, like beautiful. Right? Don't get greedy and then lose out on the monies. There we go, Ezra. Ezra is like, hey guys, I'm here again. to tell you guys that I would like to break 40 cents. All in favor, say aye. Aye. There goes a break of 40 cents. So brand new highs of the day for Ezra. New highs of the day. It hasn't really closed above 40 cents though. So that's still the problem. The problem with these stupid levels, you know? But it wants to break it because we're getting those beautiful higher lows. There we go. Another brand new high candle. Pablo, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to ignore Pablo, guys. Pablo, talk about the weather instead. I left the gift. I'm not going to see it. Let's go. Sid, did you see you saw that golden pocket though, right? And that's the level you saw that and you yeah. That level would have been perfect to get rid of those puts. Yeah. Honestly, like if you think about it, the especially for like SPY options, you know, if you're scalping like zero DTEs, or maybe getting a week or a few days out, honestly, like the odds, like if you know if you took every golden pocket retest or breakout and stuff, like mostly the retest, right? Some are not gonna work, but I think for the most part, if you cut it if it broke below the golden pocket versus if you let it run when it retested, I think you'd do really well, really well, right? But you'd have to cut it. Like if it broke below and closed below, you'd have to cut it, right? You'd be red just a little bit. But most of the time, we're retesting, consolidating, and then boom skis. Yeah, they did a really good job defending that 680, like an excellent job. Yeah, we need a golden ceiling indicator. We do. Just give Rob a few months, you know, to work on stuff. Let's go, Raven. Let's go. 4025. Yeah, love it. You're here listening? Yeah, like I said, give Rob a few months, you know? Yeah. So there goes 41 cents. 41 cents. I think Rob, the next update, which I think you're gonna get a lot, will be around can we turn up the other fib levels and just have the golden pocket on? Right? I think that'll be the next update. Thank you very much, Pablo. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ezra. Ezra is looking really good. Type yes in the chat if you're still holding Ezra. Type yes in the chat if you're still holding Ezra. Ezra's done well, done really well. I like the chart, right? I like the higher lows, the breakouts, the beautiful retest, the brand new highs. The chart looks nice. I'm telling you, Raven's wife. Anyways, Raven, is your wife home? I think I asked you. I don't know if you answered though. Raven, Rob. Okay, sounds good. Going to sell okay, sounds good, Raven. No, ETSA is not bad. It's just sitting at the double top shop, right? So it needs to break out and actually stay above it. Yeah. Alrighty, so that's looking very, very good. Looking very, very good. She went to the market, Willie. Yeah, she had to have gone somewhere for this thing to cook like this. Uh huh. Uh huh. Love it. Ah. Can we see 42 cents? Dude per Raven. Dang, the market's really exploded from that bottom. My goodness. That's an excellent bounce. Hopefully they can keep pumping now though. Hopefully they can keep pumping from those bottoms. FGL is still halted down, by the way, guys. ETSA is really trying here. Right? Really, really trying. So see if we can push, 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 push. TLIH is bouncing nicely too, so that's a nice little curl. Alrighty, so that's at least something. At least something. Hmm. So 30. Hmm. Interesting. Ezra. She has to leave to cook, and she always gives me that damn side eye. Uh, that's okay, Raven. That's okay. That's okay. So yeah, this looks like a retest of 40 cents again. Yeah, good job if you made some monies in this one, guys. Again, hopefully you're scaling out, right, or moving your stop losses higher. Don't just diamond hand it, please. Don't just diamond hand. Ezra and Etsa. Yep. Maybe now that Ezra is going down, the money's going to go to Etsa. Who knows? This one seems a bit slow though. Look at FGL, guys. My goodness, look at this. This is why you can't really get greedy with these names. Right, that $12 level is acting as support again, trying to at least. That is crazy. Some crazy wild candles. Stuff like this is really frustrating, but that's what you have to deal with when you're playing with a stock that has a float that's below 100,000 shares, right? It's gonna be all over the place like a crackhead. So there's really nothing you can do. You can do there. Mm, okay. Good job, Raven. Good job. Etsa is slowly creeping up, isn't it? It's like one penny every few seconds. One penny. Hmm. Never. You never got in. Yeah. Like it's using $12 as support for now. Trying to. And Ezra is trying to reclaim 40 cents here. Is Rhyme still holding? Yeah, Rhyme is just going sideways for now. It's a good thing though that it's holding above the 200 EMA. So Rhyme definitely isn't dead yet. Definitely not dead yet. FGL is almost back to $14 here. The spread is like almost, like 50 cents. Less now, but still. Hmm, interesting. 1420 almost. Yeah, the float is correct. It's like 7 point something. Let's go, Dan. There he is, smashing the like at 40,000 feet. Let's go, Dan. Dan's on his way to Hawaii, vacation mode. Let's go, let's go. If Dan can smash a like from 40,000 feet, guys, smash a like if you haven't already. Dan, love it. Thank you very much. Raven, two times the daily goal. Now let it go higher for you guys. Love it. Raven, good call out as well. Thank you very much. Keep cooking, please. Alrighty. Thank you for the super chats. I really appreciate that. Hashtag trend it. Trend it. Yeah, no. Now we're gonna need Ezra to just consolidate it around 40 cents and then eventually get back above that 43. Right. If we can, then Dan's going from good weather to amazing weather. You want to see my weather? I don't even want to hear from Pablo. Actually, it's not that bad, This is not bad. I don't mind this. Minus 11 is not that bad. I'll take it. Please work on a meme. Unbelievable. Yeah, minus 11 is not that bad. I'll take it. If this was the worst of winter, that wouldn't be that bad. Anyways, come on, Rhyme. What are you going to do here? Etside that just doesn't seem like it has enough volume for the actual push. Hmm. Interesting. Dan, if you had that order in there for the for those spy calls, I think it would have hit this morning because we had a nasty dip and then exploded up. Exploded up. Yeah, Ezra really just needs to consolidate for now. Just needs to go sideways. If you're green for the day, type yes in the chat. If you're green for the day, type yes in the chat. I think a lot of you guys are going to be green again. Like the market isn't amazing, but we're still finding these little scalpies, No. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, a lot of you guys are going to be green, right? The point is that like the market really isn't amazing. But so if you can find these little scalpies and make monies, just imagine when the market eventually turns around. Just imagine. Imagine the cooking, right? Right now our top gainer is 55%. Well, FGL it's currently at 60, right? So, but you know what I mean. Yes, wife is at work, Randy. Make sure she doesn't see that. She's gonna slap the rubbish out of you. I need to plug that computer in. None of my good setups came. Very cold market. That's okay, clothing. Yeah, right. If you don't see the setup you like, just kind of sit back and relax. Yeah, Iova looks good too. IOVA. Okay, you're up 9% on those 700 calls, Dan. Yeah, you do have a double top there though for IOVA, Rodney. So just keep that in mind. And it looks like it's failing at that level. So a bit of a double top. Bounce to okay. That was a really nice little spike down Ezra, wasn't it? A nice little bouncy. $41. Just sitting in cooking, but market said no. Belen, yeah. It's like that sometimes. Are you traveling for vacation or you're just at home? Staycation? Anyways, there goes FGL. If you were willing to take the gamble again of $12, guys, it looks like you're getting rewarded again, right? For FGL. So Did anybody take the gamble the second time in the 12s? Right, so that $12 range tomorrow to Brazil. Oh, that sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. FGL does look like it's losing some steam though, like it's losing some momentum. So just be careful. But again, when it dipped closer to that demand zone, the golden pocket in that $12 range for the second time, that was a nice little opportunity, wasn't it? Right. So the first time in this area, second time in the same area ish. Right. So, and again, it does look like it's losing momentum. That's the downside here now. It's just kind of chilling here. So hopefully the volume picks in again at some point. Yeah, IBRX had some really good news this morning. Sorry, BRTX had some really good news this morning. I was really surprised that it had no like really good follow through. Because we like this one coming into the open. It's just like a dipped and then just held the 200 EMA. So it's basically just ranging for now, right? So it's really important that it breaks about 25 cents. If it can break about 25 cents, I think Josh is spamming that one, right? So that'd be good. Yeah, Rhyme is kind of doing the same thing, Lock, right? Like we're going sideways, but it looks good. So the bottom was nice. It does need to break out. So you're looking for a potential breakout above like $2.40. And then FGL is still kind of going sideways here. There goes Rhyme is like, hey guys, maybe this time I can break out. Some of these. Yeah, 25 cents is the actual breakout on BRTX already. So, and then Rhyme is pushing for it. Rhyme is like, I hope you bought the bottoms. I hope you bought the bottoms. Yeah, no, it is. It definitely looks good, especially if it can break out here, Raven. Yeah, Rhyme and BRTX look almost identical, and they both want to break out at the same time. Yeah, it's like right there. Rhyme is also right there. I wonder if this is just rotation. Good job, Miss Tony. Good job. Good jobs. Hmm. Interesting. Break, 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 break. 240. Yep, you do. Yes, you do. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, and there goes that 240 rejection, right? So 240 is your resistance for now on Rhyme ish, right? We can pick and choose like the range, but anyways, 240 is a problem. Alrighty. BRTX on the other hand is still testing that 25 cents. So see if we can push above that. Yeah, it's a super slow though, isn't it? Super slow, super slow. But at least it's moving up, holding the 20 EMA there. Judith says, "Hi, good morning. If I would like to go for Rhyme, I would have to wait for it to break out." Yes, right. So think about it this way, right? So think about this. Again, technical analysis is the study of the past to predict the future, basically, right? So um, look at the price action, right, and ask yourself, okay, you know what, right? This stock keeps failing at this price over and over and over again, over and over again, and over. So should I be buying at that price? Right. So you can see that it's also bouncing off the bottom over and over again, over and over again, right? So what do you think you should be doing? You should either buy when it's broken that structure, right? Not financial advice, right? Or when it's retesting the bottom here, right? In simple terms, that's not the end of the story though. There's so much more to this. There's so much more to that, right? Like, how do you know if you should be buying at the bottom? Like, is it going to break down? How do you know if we get to the top? Like, is it going to actually, if it breaks, is it going to keep going? There's so much more. But in simple terms, like, that's just it. So if you're going to take a gamble below a level that you know that it's failing at, you're asking for trouble, right? So it does need to break out. Again, there's a long class on this already. It's like a 2 hour long class, two classes actually, multiple classes. So you can watch those classes if you want. 2 weeks since we saw 100%. Um, I don't think so. Every so often it's like this, for a week or two, and then fireworks. So if you go back the weeks before that, though, we literally had like a 3,000% day, a 1,000% day, back to back 1,000%, right? A 500% day, right? So sometimes when we cook like that, that everybody decides to, hey, like I made so much money, let me go take a breather, let me go on vacation for a week or two and then come back. So it's always like that. KB, okay, good, good. Yeah, it does need to break out. The problem is we don't know if it's gonna break out. BRTX needs to break that 25 cents, Leo. Needs to break. Doo, doo, doo. Okay. Yeah, that was the last days of. I thought. Yeah, I know clothing. I know. It's going to be go to. Yeah, I'm very limited. Like with the music. Okay. Yeah, look at that, right? BRTX got rejected at 25 cents. So none of these stocks are really just breaking out, right? So that resistance at 25 is a problem. Rhyme really wants to go though. Rhyme is like, hey, you're not gonna stop me. Not going to stop me from yeah. So that 40 needs to be broken there. There it goes. Rhyme said, yeah, I'm gonna do it. ANPA doesn't look too bad too. ANPA. Yeah, that's not bad. Ezra is still playing games here, guys, but it looks okay. Right. At the very least, it's retesting the top. TLIH has just been consolidating. Um, ANPA. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. That's a nice little curl on this one. Pop, dip, and curl. BRTX says, nope, nope, I'm not gonna die yet either. Not gonna die yet either. Look at that. Rhyme got rejected so hard, guys. So hard. My goodness. So hard. Again, when you see this picture, guys, when you see this, what do you think is missing here from that breakout? What do you see that's missing? Somebody help me out. What's like what do you is that a breakout or not a breakout? Yes or no? Is it a breakout or not a breakout? Hey you Andrew. Hello, hello. Is that a breakout or not a breakout? Yep, perfect. So again, like yeah, it's not a breakout. Why is this not a breakout? Because the candle never closed above. Right? This is how they get you. Right? They wick it above, and if you notice on the left hand side, they've done that quite a bit, especially after the open. Right? So this is not a breakout. That's why I said earlier, like there's a lot more to like buying when a stock is breaking above resistance than just saying that it's above it. Yeah. Alrighty. So again, it's really, really important that when a stock is breaking above the resistance, it actually closes above. If it doesn't, you could get yourself in trouble. Exactly. Right. It did not hold above the resistance. So it has to close above that resistance for it to count as a breakout. If it doesn't, it's a scam. Right. That's how the market makers get you sometimes. They make you feel like, oh, it's going, it's going, it's going, and then slap it. So now we're back to retesting the bottom of the range again. So basically, the stock has been going up and down the whole day, right? So yeah, so you scalp the bottoms, you sell the tops, you scalp the bottoms, you sell the tops. It says super, super slow, super slow. And still holding $12 here for FGL though, right? So that's the third time now it's tested that $12 range and bounced again to $13. So the spot has become a nice little spot, hasn't it? Right. I think that's the good thing for today is like most of these stocks you can kind of tell like the levels, you could tell the levels easily. No, 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 no. Yeah, for rhyme. Yeah, watch that bottom there. Aisha. Yep. Yeah, the more you test the bottom, the more you want to wait for consolidation, right? Because that level will eventually break. You keep testing, it gets weaker. You keep testing, it gets weaker, right? The reason it's bouncing up that level is because there's buyers there. Every time you come down to that level, you take a little bit off the table, right? Less buyers, and then you come back, there's less. You come back, there's less. Eventually, when you come back to that level, it's gonna be like, thank you very much. You eat all the cookies. There are no cookies left, and then, phew. Anyway, so for now, that level is holding now. So let's hope that it can continue to hold. Right? BRTX is really fighting with this 25 here. This place has no support. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Ah, yeah, no, slowly, like one penny at a time, Regan. 25, but the bottom seems to be holding at the 2050 EMA, needing volume. Yes, correct. Needing volume, yeah. Again, the float isn't that bad. Like it's 5 million, right? There's no reason why this thing shouldn't be pushing, but yeah, the volume is going to be important. And also, the candle hasn't closed about 25 cents yet either, right? So really, really important. TLIH is slowly curling though. I know we keep coming back to this one because it looked so good in pre-market. Maybe the thing that killed this one was because most people could only close the position rather than buy. But maybe. Okay, can we get some more fireworks before Pablo keeps coming up with roast? Sham, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's been an okay morning, right? Like not horrible. There've been some opportunities, which is good. Pablo, when is SPACs coming back? Been a while since we played with the SPAC that went, crazy. Andrew, always, 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 always. Do, 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 do. Mm, mm. Okay. There's no better trading stream with let's go. Let's go. Love it. Love it. Pablo, I agree. I absolutely agree. Yeah, I agree. Good morning, Ahmed. Pelish, good job on that scalp. That's good. Good scalp. Uh, 16. Okay. Mm. I'm just looking at some of these other stocks. Okay. You're welcome, Oka. You're welcome, Kara. Oh, yeah. Like many popular stocks in cryptos. Yep. 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 We need a really good SPAC though, Pablo. We need something to show up and go up 100% or two. Maybe that'll be the next theme in the market. FGL is still doing an excellent job of holding that 12, which is amazing. Anybody buy the dip for the third time on FGL? Anybody? Anybody pick up the dips from $12? You did. 1 second. Let me plug in this stupid computer. It keeps failing though. That's the problem. HSPT. Okay. HSPT. Don't get me started. No, it's like every other computer, Raven. You have to plug it in. You know, look at TLIH. Nice little curl here. So off the again, that golden pocket area becoming really really important. Right. So it broke below. Um, but then kind of played around with it and reclaimed it, which is really good. Especially the retest. I think when you're below golden pocket, the most important thing is like coming back down to retest it and consolidating. That's the most important thing. The most important thing. Rhyme is still holding that same stupid bottom, right? Like it's trying to curl again. BRTX is still failing at 25. Ezra is just kind of slow now, right? Basically retesting one of those breakout spots. So 3750. And yeah, we need some boom skis. Someone make it happen. MTN puts for March earnings. March. Interesting. Okay. Good morning, Marwan. You NQ long? I think that account is a bot. Yeah, exactly, Pablo. Is ETSA still good? ETSA is really slow. I don't know if like good is the word to use. The damn thing is way too slow. You just woke up now? Oh my goodness. Where do you live? Why are you just waking up? Why? There goes BRTX with the pop. I want to take a look at that spec as well, Pablo. The HSPT one you mentioned in the chat. I want to look at that at some point with that low float. Chase, good. How are you? Good, good, good. Let's see if that candle actually ends up closing above though. Slow. Yeah, we're way too slow right now. Uh, this one still looks interesting, Raven. AMPA looks good though, doesn't it? Slow and steady here. Slow and steady. I think that's the problem with a lot of these names. They're just way too slow today. But again, still opportunities though. Lots of opportunities. Yeah, the spread in this one is 20 cents, which makes it a little bit annoying. HSPT. Hmm. Interesting. And then BRTX is like, hey guys, it's my turn to run. Don't know if we can even call that a run, but I know Kimbella, you're in this one, right? Again, Ezra is doing a good job of holding that 3750, so that's good. We need to break out of that downtrend though. Uh, and didn't look at it. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Now we'll see what it does. Raven, is Rhyme still good? Yeah. Why? Because it's still holding the bottom, right? You can see that it's doing the same thing over and over again, to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, to the top, and it's trying to do it again. Trying to. It's gonna have a lot of resistance here. 20, like 228. A lot of resistance. So if we can break through that, it'd be good. From my apartment, so you can see what 82 degrees and sunny looks like. Yes, Pablo, that I will accept. Yes, yes, please. Yes, please. Yeah, no, it does look good. AMPA. Again, the spread is still pretty suspicious, so you have to be very careful because that thing goes from 16 to 1540 in 2 seconds. But it does look good though. Um, okay. BRTX is hitting 26 now too, so super slow, but everything is slow and steady today. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. I'm gonna delete some of these here because these lines make it a bit messy, A bit messy. Mm, 2760 67. Good job, Lit. Yeah, not a bad scalp. Mm. Did anybody take rhyme off the bottom again? Anybody do it? Yeah, anybody take rhyme off the bottom for the millionth time today? For the 1 millionth time. 222. Okay, you did. Yeah. Again, the problem is we don't know if it's going to keep pumping, but sometimes you take those gambles and hope that it works out. Yeah, 219. Yeah. Any below 220 is a lot better, obviously. Right. Zooming. Mm, 15. 222. Okay, so you moved it up then. Okay, well done. Good. I like that. I like it. Yeah, it's super slow, but what can we do? There's nothing you can do here. There's nothing you can do. You know. Just hope that it keeps performing. Ezra is still doing a really good job of holding the bottom though, right? So again, like these stocks are pretty annoying and slow, but at the very least, you can look at them and say, "Hey, hey, 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 that's a bottom," right? And then you get something out of it, right? So that is good, right? So they're all really, really slow, but can we get some more boom skis, guys? Come on now, Rhyme, can you do something? Just go, 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 man! It's trying. FGL has been such a nice stock of this $12, guys. Like, look at that again. Eventually, it's gonna break below week if it keeps testing, right? Eventually, but damn, like look at that, right? How beautiful is that, guys? How beautiful is that? How many times does FGL have to bounce off the bottom? How many times? Huh? Beautiful. Do, 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 do. I think the only question now is it just gonna be a quick scalp like that, like a $1 scalp, or is it gonna be anything else? You know, who knows? Do, do. Yeah, for some reason, remember the last time FGL ran, I think BNAI went with it. So that's interesting. No position, just looks like it wants to break out, and it does. Huge blue skies. Yes. The volume is also super light. Um, uh, uh, you can kind of tell like Rhyme is sitting right on that view app, so that level is going to be important. So some resistance there. Yeah, again, Chris, I think the problem with this one is just like, yeah, for the most part, they trade NYC. The volume is like, it is a breakout, yes. The volume to me still seems a bit like it's lacking. And you can tell by like the way that it's moving, right? Like the long wicks on the way up and then back down and then back up and then back down. Like it's just a bit interesting. Edsa with a nice pop here though. Regan, are you still holding this one or watching it? Yeah. Mm, mm. Your stop never hits. Okay, good. Good job. Good job. Good job. I mean, it's still in the same range, so your stop never should have hit in the first place. Otherwise, we'd be fighting. But yeah, so like I basically just stayed about the 50 EMA and just went sideways. So at least now it's gaining some momentum a little bit. Yep. Yep. No, it does look good. This was a good breakout on this one. It was a very good breakout. Some of these, good job, A. Well done. I like that scalp. Right. The annoying thing for FGL is like you're getting those scalps, but it's getting weaker. Like you're getting consistent lower highs. So you want to be very careful. Right. Just in case. Just in case. Pablo, that's your apartment? Oh my goodness, Pablo. How much do you pay for that a month? How much do you pay for that, Pablo? That looks beautiful, by the way. That looks beautiful. That looks beautiful. This was a really good breakout. So now your next resistance on this one, obviously, if you look left and right below 28 cents. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, Richie. Yeah, so 28 cents is your next little wall there. Oof, my goodness, look at that. They hit it and then they slapped it down. Right. So again, always look left, right? Left resistance, you're gonna have that problem again. Okay. They slap it too. Yep. So basically just got rejected at 40 cents, right? And Chris, do you see why we said this looks suspicious? Do you see that now? Right? Like as nice as it looked as a breakout, and this is what like I always have a hard time explaining sometimes, right? Is sometimes when people say, hey, like when I say it doesn't have good volume, people are like, what do you mean it doesn't have good volume? The volume is 2 million, right? Like that's a lot of volume, right? But at the same time, like again, this is not really something that I can explain. I just don't know how to put it into words. But when you look at this stock, you can tell it has volume. You can tell the price action is suspicious, right? Like yeah, it's going up, but the price action just looks suspicious, and then all of a sudden it's dropping. So sometimes you can just kind of tell, right? Like hey, something is off. Something smells fishy. Looks good, but it smells fishy. Not that it's even sell volume because the stock is moving up, right? It just doesn't look right. Just doesn't look right. So BRTX is looking for that breakout. 42 cents. 42 cents. Sorry, 28 cents. I was looking at a different stock on the other screen. But yeah, 28 cents on this one. Looking good. What's the best broker to use? Jonah, where do you live? Where do you live? Where do you live? Mm-mm. That's a nice push, isn't it? So brand new highs of the day for BRTX. Brand new highs of the day. Looking good. Cats of crypto. Hey yo, hello, hello. I didn't answer your question. What was your question? I missed it. Georgia? I would probably say Weibo. Righty? I'd say Weibo. Weeble. That's a nice push. Very, very nice push. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too, Raven. Especially when it's downtrending like this now, especially when it's downtrending like that. It's a bit of a problem. FGL is just chilling at $12, like it owns the place. TLIH is just annoying at this point, right? Like it's not dead, but it's also not really going anywhere. Penny stocks, Jonah. Yeah, then I would say Webull. You can have two brokers though if you need to. You need to. 28 cents. These guys had really good news this morning. For some reason, it just wasn't moving though. So eventually, XTB. What the hell is XTB? The hell is XTB? XTB. Hmm. Okay. So 20. Okay. Oh, it's in the UK? Okay. Yeah, I'm sure you can use Webull in the UK as well. Yep, exactly, Raven. You need to sign an agreement that lets you trade penny stocks. There you go. So maybe sign that agreement. Then you don't have to switch brokers. And swing trading, Webull is just for day trading. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a perfect plan. One broker for chaos, the other broker for some nice, well thought out place. So you don't have everything in the same place. That's some nice spikes on ETSA there, Regan. Some nice pops on ETSA. Yep, it looks good. Again, I wish we had something that was a bit more aggressive than that, but Spirit Airlines. So they're not going bankrupt anymore. Interesting. Yeah, let's see if that thing can consolidate in that range. Because that golden pocket is a lot lower. I don't think anybody wants to see this thing all the way down there. I think that's the beauty of the golden pocket. Sometimes, that it doesn't really care about the current price action. It's where it's at, and it doesn't move. Right? I think that's a good thing. Anyways, FGL is still holding that beautiful $12 level. That beautiful $12 level. Up and down and up and down. Up and down and up and down. Only if that thing had some nice volume. Only if it had some nice volume. It is breaking a bit of a downtrend, but that VWAP is there next. Is it calling you, KV? I wish it was calling you at $12 though. You know? Yeah, we'll see if the volume kicks in on this one. Yeah, T2, everything needs to wake up. They all need to wake up. The spread on this is also 30 cents, so definitely has work to do. ETSA really wants to test that $1.50, doesn't it? Already? Slow. Slow, slow, slow. But think it's a lie. It made it. You think it's going down? You think it's going down again today, Andrew? Yeah, we saw that yesterday. And they never named any sources or any potential companies that were going to buy them. So it might be. It might be. There goes ETSA. $1.50. Yeah. So highs of the day. I'm sure they're going to use that 150 as resistance here. Again, this one just got rejected at resistance, BRTX. And TLIH is trying to reclaim the 200 EMA, so that's not too bad. Yep. Yeah, it's not bad, Jack. It just doesn't have the volume yet. Hmm. Ram is almost back, yeah. So Ram with that fail at the view app, but it's back to bouncing off the same stupid bottom again. So it's basically the same range all day today. Yeah, Angel. Yeah, I mean it's weak just like everything else, right? But the range has been quite clear. Like it's honestly been very clear since the very open, right? The bottoms to the top. So if you're buying that thing anywhere else and it's not working out, it's more. It has more to do with impatience than anything else. Um, Alrighty, BRTX. If this thing can break about 30 cents, everybody's gonna be excited, hyped, hyped. There is gonna be hype. Double bottom from January 30th to today. I can take a look. Ooh, that's a nice little curl. That is a nice little curl. Again, you see why it's bouncing off the bottom there, though? That nice demand zone and the golden pocket, right? So even though the support is, like halfway in there, but yeah, nice little bounce. Not bad. Anyways, let me take a look at ELPW. This one's had some social media hype over the last few days, and it's up 23%, right? And yeah, it was a double bottom. You missed that though, right? The double bottom was at the bottom. The double bottom was at, let's say, 39 cents. Right? That was the level. So now it's pushing right for resistance here. So pushing for that 50 cents. So it's no longer at a double bottom. It is bullish though, but no longer at a double bottom. Do you think Bitcoin's broken the crypto winter, Andrew? No, the only thing that Bitcoin is broken is it's back. That's the only thing. That's the only thing Bitcoin can break. You know. Other than that, pretty useless. uh, no, I think Bitcoin's gonna probably go sideways for a long time, right? Just go up and down. I think a lot of people are calling for the 50s and 40s and whatnot. Um, right? So at some point it's gonna go for a run, but that might not be till we get to like September, October, and stuff like that. So for now, probably sideways to lower. But if that's something you're interested in, like these are pretty good spots to be dollar cost averaging, though. Yeah, stupid scam. Stupid scam. Yeah. Yes, yes. The only thing, yeah, but West, like Bitcoin hit, 126,000, right? And Josh has been spamming Bitcoin since, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 126,000. If at that point, someone can come up with a plan of their own to say, hey, you know what, like this has been a pretty nice run, right? Let me do this and this and this, then that's a problem, right? Yeah. Also, Josh was spamming in there that he was selling above 100K to buy back below 70, and he said that yesterday as well. He's going to be buying back below 70K. So, right. Okay, back to BRTX here because this looks nice. This looks nice. Good job. Well done, Robs. It was a good scalp. Andrew? Yeah. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. And then Ed says, look, still looking for that $1.50. Again, not the best day in the market, but at the very least, you have scalp opportunities. At the very least, you have some opportunities. So ETSA, BRTX, and a whole bunch more. Can that thing actually break $1.50, or are we just gonna double top here? Okay. Yeah, look at FGL now. I think that's the problem with it. Like the volume just isn't coming in and it keeps testing that $12 area, right? The more you test, the weaker it gets. So just be careful, please. Just be careful. And then obviously kind of looks like a double top here for BRTX. Kind of looks like a double top. ATXI, 27%. Let me take a look. ATXI. That's the wrong one. This one. My goodness. Sheesh. Yeah, I think it's because of the earnings report there. That thing just wow, wow, wow. Especially the way the markets have been behaving. This thing's been very strong. That was a good breakout though, Wes. Yeah, once that thing broke above $30, it said thank you, goodbye, see you never. Yeah, no, that looks really good. That's been a good swing play for you. A very good swing play for you. Nice job. Very, very nice. Yeah, KB for sure. It's still holding. It's still holding $12 though, right? Like it's fighting for its life there. And the ETSA is trying to break above $1.50 as well. Trying to break $1.50. Type yes in the chat if you're still holding ETSA. Type yes in the chat if you're still holding ETSA. Had cut me off, Andrew. No, no. 152. Larry Desmond. Okay. Yeah, no, that looks good. Looks good. I mean, look at that. Look at that, KB. That thing just went from $12 to $13 again. Again, 13.20, 13.25. Right? So it just depends if you're willing to take that gamble. Right? It just depends. Yeah. Because FGL just keeps doing it over and over and over again. One of these times it's gonna break down if it keeps testing that level, right? So hopefully not. Hopefully not. How low will BRTX fall? What do you mean? How low will it fall? Richie, what's your position in BRTX? Are you in it? Let me know. How low will she go? Did I just get an alert for GOSS, Raven? Hey, it's back to green, Raven. Back to green. Redness to greenness. Right now I scalp it once. I mean, next entry. I see. I'll take a look in a second. I will take a look in a second. I feel like we pull so many bottom feed plays, Raven. We forget. Look at FGL, guys. FGL with a nice pop. Okay, that spread is pretty stupid still. But ELPW. If you look in the bottom feeding channel, right? Yeah, there's a nice bottom there. Let me take a look at the other one here. Just want to see what that daily looks like here really quickly. What level were we talking about yesterday, Raven? Like closer to 30 cents? I can't remember it. But it's bouncing. Yeah, that thing was all the way down at 33 cents yesterday. Or whatever it was at. Anyways. Anyways. $0.35. Okay. Yeah, it hit 35.60. And they said, "Oh, Raven, you're here? Oh, don't worry, don't worry. Your wife is home. We don't want you here, please. We don't want you here." That was close though. Ayo, reduce. You got busted earlier from what? And then Richie is asking for BRTX in terms of like dips. I mean, Richie, your first support is going to be 26 already, and then obviously 25 was a pretty big deal. So if we do dip, then 26 will be your first level to watch for support. Did anybody take the gamble this time on FGL? Let me know. Anybody? T2, what's your position in Ezra? Ezra is still like Ezra is just looking super weak, right? So it would be ideal. I think you're gonna get a bounce maybe between this 35 and 33. Closer to 33 would be ideal, but it is looking very weak. It didn't work, rhyme. Also, don't like I don't see the like. I honestly don't see it when it comes to rhyme. I've seen a few people complain about rhyme, like, here, rhyme got me. Again, I don't honestly don't understand where the confusion is at, right? Because when you look at rhyme, again, look at that, right? The top is right there every time. If you buy a rhyme, if you buy close to this price, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get cooked. Also, rhyme at the bottom has been bouncing off the same bottom every time, right? So I don't quite understand. Like, a few people lost money on rhyme. I'm like, okay, like, what are you doing? You're buying that thing close to the top. You did on FGL. Sen Senation World. Okay, nice. 12 to 1350. Good job. Yeah, that's a nice scalp. A nice scalpy. It's still looking okay though. I know, Andrew. I know. 100 shares at 35.9. Okay, good, 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 good. Do, 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 do. Mm, okay. Sticky. ANPA. Is it consolidating? A little bit, but that there's no confirmation there really. That thing would be so much nicer closer to 1140 ish, but obviously it's a dollar above. Like, it's trying to, but I think you need a proper curl, right? It's trying, like 1220. It's trying to hold that level, but I think you're gonna need a lot. You're gonna need more than that. Hmm. Yeah, it is. It is holding that level, isn't it? Sticky. Yeah, you need that candle to close back above the nine because it just keeps going back and forth here. So you need an actual pop. And rhyme just super weak now. This one's been the monster, hasn't it? BRTX. Yep. No, this looks good. Yeah. See if we can cross above that 30 cents. 30 cents. Type yes in the chat if you're still holding BRTX. Type yes in the chat if you're still holding this one. That was a really good retest of the breakout. And then a new breakout. Did everybody take the money and run? Is this Fraser? Okay, there you go. At least someone's. I know a whole bunch of you guys are holding this one. Criminals. Yes, chance. There you go. There you go. Huh. Just said the company plans to continue the annual increase of its dividends. Interesting. Yeah, Apple has been cooking. Some cash secured puts on those would have been really nice, really nice. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, Ezra is super weak, super weak. So like I said, yeah, maybe closer to 33 cents there, you might have something, but for now, just weakness. No strength, just weakness. Can FGL just do something? Like, are we asking for too much? Just do something. Do something. Do something. Do something. ENP is still curling on that bottom though, right? At the very least, it broke out of that little structure there. Come on, give us some rockets. Give us some rockets. Okay, here we go. 30 cents. 30 cents. Here we go. ETSA is looking good though. ETSA is retesting the highs of the day. Retesting the highs of the day. 160. Yup. And broke it. They broke it, so did BRTX. So they're both breaking the resistance levels. ETSA and BRTX. Hmm, interesting. Hmm. ETSA looks really good. Looks really, really, really good. Refresh. But also might just chop and go sideways and be annoying. Let me take a look. VIR. Yeah, the curl was in the demand zone though. Yeah. Now it's trying to decide if it has enough juice to push again. But yeah, this demand. Yeah, look at that, right, Wes? That was the level. That was this that yeah that was the level there in that demand area. Now it's not sure if it wants to come back for a retest or push to the 200 EMA. So a break above like 970 would be good. Yeah, but now it's just a little bit of sidewaysness, annoying, but not horrible though. BRTX still looking good. 31. There it goes. There it goes. Yeah, no, this one's been good today, especially with that news. Especially with that news. The only downside is how slow these stocks are. Super, super slow. Yep. For a VIR. Yep, no, for sure. Yeah, that thing has a long ways to go. But for now, though, this little store here, 970, and then you're looking for that 200 and the $10 area. Absolutely agreed. Agreed. But yeah, it's lost some volume there at 9. NVDA. Okay. Why is there so little volume? I honestly, I don't know. It's annoying though, that's for sure. Couldn't trust it. At least, at least you came out green, Jay. At least you came out green. At least you came out green. Yeah, but again, like Rhyme to me has been very predictable, right? Very predictable. So it's been the same bottom again. I don't know when people say they're losing money on this. I think you're just being impatient with it and rushing in at a price you're not supposed to be rushing in at, because that thing's been bouncing up the exact same spot, right? And at least you're making 3 cents. Yeah, 218. Yeah, you basically went for the bottoms there, and then VIR got rejected at that 970, right? So this level right there is where it's stalling at. So until it breaks out of that 970, it's not ready for anything else. It maybe wants to come back for a retest. Retest. TLIH is still fighting for its life here. Still fighting for its life. Something about delisting, maybe, Wes, or can't quite remember the. I think Raven knows though. On the 10 cents, okay, yeah, might fight harder. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that thing just looks super weak. Super, super weak. There goes BRTX. Back to testing the highs of the day again. 31 pennies. Here it goes. I really wish this market had a bit more volume. Is it any good, Ezra? Like I said, like between 35 and 33 cents, it's not horrible, Richie. If it breaks below 33 cents, then you have a big problem. But for now, if it can stay in that range and get back above the 200, that's fine. Then that is okay. Hmm. Mm, 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 mm. It says looking good though. That is looking good, and GOSS with a nice little bounce there again. Looks like a VIR is holding that 50 EMA though, so maybe some juice. GOSS. Not really. It's that thing just bouncing off the bottom there. Mm, 170 for ETSA. Not bad. Not bad. Lamar. Yeah. Yep. That thing was nice at the open though, wasn't it? LRMR. It was nice. It just couldn't break out. right? That $4 resistance was just too much of a problem. That red zone was so thick, 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 and then they slapped it. So, yep. At least we could see that though, right? Like it was quite obvious that that level was a problem. Yeah, AMD cooked. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like these tech stocks were at really, really good prices, right? Amazon, AMD, Microsoft, you know. So, you know what? I want to look at where the fear and greed index is at. Uh, what are we at? 41. Interesting. I mean, I bet you we're at 41 now because we bounced a little bit off the, I always find it interesting when like like it's so low yet the markets are not really dipping yet. Yeah, it's always interesting. Yup, yup. If you look at the crypto one though, oof, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. This one's gonna be at zero probably. That damn thing is at 8. Extreme fear is what it's at. Yup. This thing has been at extreme fear for the last, like, look at that. Today, yesterday, the last month, the last week. Everybody's like, what is this scam doing? Yeah, that looks nasty. Yeah, so the stock market index looks a little bit better, but that's also because we bounced off the abyss. Otherwise, that thing would have been closer to. If we break below 680, that thing is going to immediately drop into extreme fear. So the markets have work to do. Nvidia is going to be huge tomorrow. Huge for everything. Huge, 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 huge. Yep, we'll see. Hopefully, Nvidia cooks earnings tomorrow, though, because I want the markets to pump. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too. Big day for the markets tomorrow. It's interesting how they're pumping it today, though. So I wonder if that's not, not necessarily a good thing. Pumping before earnings. Who knows? Find out tomorrow. Nvidia is not going to miss earnings. We know that. Right? Those guys make too much money. They just print money out of thin air. They close their eyes and money appears. That's Nvidia. I think the only question is, their outlook, as it usually is. Guidance, right? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Hopefully. I mean, they're gonna spend money on capex. They're definitely gonna spend money. I think the market just wants to see though if Nvidia is benefiting from that or what like the CEO has to say about because the market really hangs on like every word of Jensen. So yeah, old boring Ford. Yeah. Boring Ford. Do, 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 do. The more you buy, the more you save. Ah, yeah, seriously. If Nvidia screws up tomorrow, we're gonna be below 680 for SPY, and everybody's gonna be panicking. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully that's not the case. Correction might be in the second half of the year. Yeah, or maybe we get that run into the end of the month, early March, and then we get a retracement in late March, April, right? Just like we had last year. If not, then pump it, dip in October or something like that, or dip in 2027. I've seen a few metrics that are calling for a crash in 2027. So rally 2026, crash in 2027. which is interesting. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And it makes a lot of sense why, midterms, they want to pump the markets. There's so many factors why the markets should do good in the, yeah, Q3, Andrew. Yeah, we will see. We shall see. Let's give it another 5-10 minutes or so, guys. And if the markets are still this slow, we can hop off and go back to Discord. The old wave chart you posted, sell in 20 a good year. Yeah, 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 that too. So yeah, so this one here, right? So you can kind of see like there's a little like less thick line um, in there that goes from 2023 to a high of 2026. Right, so 2026 we hit the highs, and then we drop from the end of 2026. Ahmad, yeah. So I was also watching this was last year though, like this was a while ago. I was listening to a numerology guy. I don't know how that came on my feed, but it's he was saying how the market was crypto was going to crash in 2026, and then stocks would crash in 2027. Well, crypto's obviously crashed in 2026, so he's half right. Question is, will he be right in 2027? So it's interesting though, isn't it? Like stuff like that. I was finding stuff like that interesting. Very, very interesting. So, I mean, if you look at like the S&P, post election season, like, midterms and stuff, I think this one has, uh, anyways, this one doesn't quite have the midterm stuff, but yeah, you can kind of see the like April, we've obviously had a dip, right? And like dip, and then we start to bounce and then rally, 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 and then we dip again October. Mm. Anyways, either way, VIR is pushing now. Yeah, so that 50 EMA we talked about, it looks like, yeah, look at that, right? So that 50 EMA held well, but then we're back to that 970 again. So exact same spot. So yeah, it really needs to break above this level here, right? 970. Uh, Oka, Kara, yeah. Sham, yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong. I mean, there are people that scream market crash every year, and then eventually it happens. Then they're like, see, I told you. I told you a market crash was coming. Yeah, you've been saying that for 10 years now. 10 years. Yeah. The markets will always, have these like nice 20%, 30% retracements, 40%, but the markets will always end up going back higher. And if they don't, we have bigger problems than the markets. You know? Yep, exactly, Salan. Exactly. 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 If you look at their reasoning though, like they have really good reasoning, right? I think we can all look back and say, hey, like there's so many reasons why the markets should be crashing, right? So many reasons, but doesn't always work like that. Doo, doo, doo. Yeah, some abuse about that. Yep. No, I think the best thing is just to, follow the charts. The charts really haven't confirmed anything that, look like a crash is coming. If we break below 680, then 675, then yeah, definitely. Maybe, MJ, maybe. Again, maybe that's a bit concerning because NVIDIA has earnings tomorrow. So numerology 22711, which reduces to 2, which is have left. See, I thought you were going somewhere with this, Wes. I was excited. Yeah, I was excited. I think the reason why it's not crashing then is because so 11 is year of the dog, isn't it? 11 is year of the dog. This is the year of the horse. The dog and the horse are best friends. So 7-Eleven basically, right? There's a reason why there's a store called 7-Eleven. So then, the market doesn't crash this year, right? Anyways. Anyway, I don't know. That makes no sense, but anyways. From posting on YouTube comments again, Andrew. Yeah, you're being feisty. Rhyme is still holding that same stupid bottom, isn't it? Same stupid bottom. So 3 cents here, 5 cents there. Not bad. Is BRTX a good scalp? Watch that retest. So watch this retest. Watch this area here, 2750 ish. Um, I honestly wish this thing was a little bit closer to 26. I think 26 would be a lot better for you. Um, yeah, HIMS has been destroyed bad. Destroyed. There goes the double top of VIR. So 970 is still a problem. After getting back from in Japan, Winterfell. Why is it so much nicer? The horse market is coming. It's coming. Hmm. Yeah, they're definitely really pumping the markets today. Don't mind though. They're amazing in Japan. I saw this little store. I'll come back to that. Oka, Kara, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Alrighty. Thank you. Hopefully you're making some monies today. Yeah, I was watching this video and it was a convenience. It was like a gas station convenience store in Japan. Like, at like 24/7 and there's no one in the store. You can scan a QR code and go in there and then buy and then scan a QR code and pay and like there's no employees. That's so cool, isn't it? But also like reducing the jobs. No one's gonna have jobs at 7-Eleven anymore. Hashtag trended. Welcome back, Caitlin. Welcome back. It's pretty slow right now. Very, very slow, Caitlin. Slow. Nothing wants to be the favorite right now. They're all being annoying. All being annoying. Okay, thank you. La, na, 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 la, na, 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 na. Okay, thank you, Ahmed. Amazon has the same thing in Seattle. That's cool. Uh, with no one paying for anything. Yup. 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 No, that's very nice. That's very, very nice. When someone can go into a store and take something and then pay and then leave, even if there's no one watching, I think that's really good. Yep. Some cities, wherever where like not just in the States, like anywhere else, like someone would walk in with a mask and like, get stuff and leave without paying. Without paying. GFAI, Chris. Sounds like the UK. But like it's honestly like a lot of places though, not just the UK, not just the States, a lot of places. $200 because apparently a regular driver for flying now with really, that's so stupid, Wes. Like if you're not flying international, like you shouldn't need more than an ID to fly, like why do you need a passport to fly in the same country? um Chris, mm, I don't see anything I like here, right? Like if you were looking at this thing from a daily point of view, I would say yeah, maybe, but mm, maybe closer to 60 cents, Chris. Maybe closer to 60 cents, and then stop loss below. You're going to Florida, you shouldn't need a passport for that. Shouldn't be needing a passport for that stuff. Oh well. So it looks like a BRTX is holding up that new line, right? So retest of the breakout basically. Plus faceless Amazon stores. Hmm. The agency that issues passports. What a mess. Craziness. Doo, doo, doo. Craziness. So testing 30 cents again here, BRTX. Good dip. You have to pay $45 at the airport? Oh. Maybe do that, Wes, and then save your $200. Yeah. Or maybe just can you just go to the DMV and get a new license then? Can you just go? Well, I mean, you'd have to wait though. Okay. You guys have something else then. Yeah. Unless you get to the airport early, Wes, and then do that, you know, so you have lots of time. Uh, you tried to get an SLS. Let me take a look. SLS on Monday. Yeah, I think the problem now is you're kind of too late on this. Um, Mini. Yeah, you're kind of late. You're kind of late on this now. There's way too much resistance between this, 490 and $5, right? Not that it's not gonna break above, but like look at the last two times, right? The last few, this is like the beginning of the year, right? Like it hit this range twice and then it couldn't break out. So yeah, you're way too close to resistance at this point. Just let it break out. Let's go, Richie. Let's go. Let's go. Are you making monies? Uh, when you get home, it will be there for you. Yeah. Mm, interesting. Very, very interesting. I know, right, Kaylin? Just no boom skis today. Everything is a scalp, which has been nice, honestly, right? Like everything's kind of predictable. Like the levels are predictable, just no explosions. ANPA. Last we checked this thing, it was stalling. Oh yeah, so you're basically just retesting that same top term. So not necessarily boom skis, Angel, but it is trying. Mark my words. Yeah. No, again, that was a good base, right? And now you're stalling here at 1420. So if you can break above that, then yeah, more room to the upside. Hmm. CIRF. Yeah, no, I looked at that one on Sunday as well. Sunday fun day. Yeah, no, ETSA is holding this base at 150 now. So if it can stay above that, then that's fine. Right. So again, little scalp piece. Nothing overly impressive though. Yeah, let's do 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes, and then I do have to hop off and go do some one-on-ones. So let me know if you have any last questions, and then we will hop off soon. Don't forget to smash a like, guys, if you haven't already, please and thank you. Hit that subscribe, and if you want to join us in Discord, click the link at the bottom of the chat there from Nightbots and come join us. Alrighty. Ravian, have a wonderful day as well. See you in Discord tomorrow. Bye, Haley. Yeah, it's good. It's good to snow days are good. Snow days are good. Snacks at home. Pretend to do homework and and watch stocks. uh, before earnings tomorrow. Yeah or nay? CUCM. Parents are sick of them. Yeah. Yep. So NVIDIA, NVDX. Let me take a look. This one's gonna be hard though. This is going to be difficult because there really isn't a golden pocket, right? You might be looking at a golden pocket on a different time frame, but it really isn't, right? This leverage ETF is sitting at resistance, and you could tell it, like we've been sitting at the same spot, just like all the other tech stocks, right? Like it's literally been sitting around $18 for the last 3 months now, right? So there isn't a golden pocket here, right? On the bigger time frame, like you're really, I can see what you're talking about on a smaller time frame. Like if I was to switch to, let me just let it load here, right? So if I switch to a different time frame, you're most likely going to see where that golden pocket is coming from, and it makes a lot of sense why it's there, right? And it was a good level. Like if you picked it up at 17-ish, that would have been a good spot, right? Like early this morning, that's where the golden pocket was at. So you missed that golden pocket, right? Now you're pushing into the resistance there. So you're betting on NVIDIA beating earnings and having really good guidance. I think it's gonna be good. I hope it's gonna be good, but you never know, right? Because this level is gonna be difficult, 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 difficult. Save us, Nvidia, for the 100th time in the last how many years? Frank, it's been testing that level so much. Yeah. So you just have to be aware, though, chance that it's a gamble. You know, as much as we think Nvidia is going to beat earnings and pump and drag the markets up, it's still a gamble. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, back to that $12 FGL. It just lost volume just like everything else. But at least it's still holding that level though. Rhyme, on the other hand, look at Rhyme, guys. Look at that. Right? Again, I keep saying this. I don't understand why people keep complaining about losing money on Rhyme. Why? Because Rhyme is pretty simple. Pretty simple. Right? It's been doing this all day today. All day. Right? Up and down and up and down and up and down. Up and down and up and down. Up and down and up and down. Same range. Type yes in the chat if you're still holding Rhyme from the bottom there. Type yes if you're still holding Rhyme. Oh yeah, it did. It lit. Left you in the dust. Yes, love it. Yeah, could have done yeah, 4 or 5 times and yeah, exactly. Same spot, same bottom, same resistance. You're in a $2 chance? Okay, very nice. Very, very nice. Again, like it's nothing crazy, but we'll take the scalps. Kaylin, this would have been some nice scalps for you and KB. KB, you were watching this. You didn't take it. Why? See if it keeps pushing though to that 240. $2.40. You did one play on Rhyme? Okay. Ezra? Yeah. It's a little bit lower. So that 33 is going to be the test now. And then if it doesn't hold that level, yeah, you might just visit that golden pocket. ETSA is just sitting in the demand zone too at $1.50. Jara, it definitely is being annoying. Definitely. Right. Again, it's holding that $12 so nicely. Right. And you can tell like the green candles are trying to show up at the bottom, but the volume is just lacking. I'm really surprised that a stock with this low of a float like lacks volume. But then again, everything else that we look at has been playing games. Games on games. BRTX is bouncing perfectly as well off the support, right? So that's what I mean. Like today is pretty annoying, but like the levels, the levels had been good. You just have to not be greedy and ask for more and just take what it's giving you. Take what the market gives you today. Any last questions before we hop off, guys? Any last questions? Let me know. Yeah. Any last questions before we hop off? There's some really good names we're gonna keep paying attention to, right? BRTX and a whole bunch of other ones. Mr. Snoop, Mr. Snoopy. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Wait, no, thank you to what, Caitlin? What happened? What happened? That was a nice double bottom. That was in it. 27.80. Yeah. See if it has the juice to get back above 30 cents though. You're down 8% on that thing, Angel. Should you dump it? Well, I mean, you're kind of sitting at a mini base here, so if it breaks below that level, you might have to. Alrighty, so if it breaks below that, then you might have to because then it might want to come back all the way down here to 30 to 29 ish. So, and FGL is still stupid, but still holding though. Rhyme kind of stalling a little bit. Angel, Andrew, I have no idea. I want to see how how Blue Hat is doing. What about Box L? How's Box L doing? Box L. Hey, it's green today, right? So again, we looked at this yesterday and we said we liked it off that bottom there, closer to $1.20. But hopefully he's happy with making monies. Yeah, Box L. Yeah. But we played with this thing so many times that we really don't need anybody telling us when to buy something. uh, I know, KB. To Smiley. Okay, get back about 30 cents. Takes a dip. Yeah, it's that 970. That's the problem then. I think Raven probably slapped him forever. Anyways, guys, we're gonna leave it here for the day though. See you guys in Discord. Hopefully the market picks up after lunch. We still do have a lot of good names that could potentially push, right? Like this is one of them, obviously BRTX. ETS has another one holding $1.50 really nicely. Right. So those two nice standouts. And then obviously Rhyme looks interesting too. So like there's so many names. FGL if it can stay above $12, right? Ezra if it can stay above this 33. So there are quite a few names that we're gonna keep paying attention to. Yeah. KB, see you in Discord. Dan said nope. You be gone. Dan said I'm leaving for vacation. I have one more present for you. If I'm gone, so are you. Enjoy. Have a great day. Alrighty. See you later. Much love, everybody. Be safe. Don't do anything crazy. Have a wonderful afternoon. And we'll see you guys in Discord. And hopefully we get some crazy runners as the day goes on here. Cause yeah. Let's go. Luna, have a wonderful day. Andrew, have a wonderful day. Bye user. Take care, day trader. Raven, you can go bug your wife now. Bye, Caitlin. Now you have freedom. The kids are gone to school. Steve is out selling stuff, and you can go bug the horses and make some money. Desmond, take care. Yeah, no, BRTX looks good, right? That was a pretty sweet double bottom there. Hopefully, Caitlin and KB promote into this at the bottom. Oh, Haley's still there. Oh, fine. You said school tomorrow. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Pablo says too much. Later, Diddy. Jack, bye for now. Ron, bye. See you in Discord. Free day at home with the dog. Okay. More freedom than yeah. Bye for now. Bye bye. Yeah, no, BRTX looks good. This one looks like the best one for now. I'm gonna take this other line off here for now. Yeah, that's a nice looking chart. Have a great day, Jay. Again, much love, everybody. Smash a like before you go, and see you guys later. Alrighty, bye, guys.